It has to be said is this, that Prince Harry seemingly has a bit of a problem with the truth. When you think about it, of course, he wrote the book and apparently this was the ultimate definitive story of his life, not as the prince that he was born, but the man that he'd become. And then, of course, very quickly we saw it all unravel because seemingly, he didn't exactly like the story that he'd said. And in particular, when he was trying to get the visa situation revoked and put into his favour, whichever way you look at it. Even now, this confusion of exactly who's paying for his security is, of course, the US government assisting. People need to be told. But according to a very well-placed source, Prince Harry once again has had a bit of a revelation and decided that he'd now like to re-amend his truth, his version of events. As ever, let me explain. To see you as ever, as we are, we'll have a quick wave, sorry I'm forgetting, answer. Morning, how are you? Good evening if you're going to bed. We are back on the London Underground as we're careering around, covering of course the political sphere that's going on currently in the United Kingdom in a glorious heat, but not the sort of heat you want to be working in, do you know what I mean? It's a sit down cup of tea sort of thing, or a cool drink, isn't it, in the shade with a hat on. You're with me, aren't you? Absolutely. I've had enough already, you know what I mean? Only the start of a long day, let me tell you. What's interesting here, though, is some people may have had enough, of course, of the former royal Prince Harry, seemingly because, as I've often said, he can't stick to his truth. And it is his truth. He put it down with a ghostwriter for his book Spare. And what was really, I thought, bad form is simply this, that when he decided then to go on television and absolutely, demonise his stepmother, Camilla, of course, our Queen Camilla, I thought that was really in bad form. There was no real need to do that. He could have just left it in the book. But apparently now he's had a rethink, and as I said to you, it's very similar to the visa problem. Harry now would, and I've been told, and as ever we have to say allegedly, like to actually make amends with Queen Camilla to basically say, look, it wasn't all meant to go in the book, it was put down in anger, and those were my thoughts, and they were interpreted. He had final say over the book. Everybody knew that he had final write-off. The ghostwriters, Penguin Random House, are very clear about that. Their legal team were very much all over that book. So it's interesting, isn't it, that the truth is now being rewritten. Some are suggesting, though, of course, that it's simply this, that time is running out for, of course, the former royal Prince Harry. And he knows that while His Majesty the King is on the throne, he perhaps has more of a better chance of re-inclusion back into the family. You see, Prince William apparently has washed his hands entirely off him, moving forward with his own life, his own family, and very happy with it too. Doesn't need the drama, doesn't need, of course, all the baggage that comes along with Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle and Harry's 2 children. You understand. But Harry knows, some might suggest, pushed alongside by Meghan, that without the backup of the British monarchy, what does he really have? Now, obviously, I'm sure he misses elements of his old royal life, whether he wants to put that in public domain or not. And he sees the start of apologising for his appalling behaviour, perhaps to the woman that means the most, to, of course, His Majesty the King, his wife, our Queen, Queen Camilla, would be the start to making amends. It's all down to one thing, though, really, King Charles, and more importantly, Camilla. I've been told Camilla's a very forgiving person, doesn't necessarily hold grudges, and sees the petulance in people like Harry and says, well, so what? We all make mistakes. His Majesty the King isn't as forgiving. And as for Prince William, he's simply having none of it. But who really would trust anybody right now to let him back in, apologise or not? And moving forward, even if that was the case, as we've seen with Prince Andrew, it doesn't matter. When you've done the wrong thing, you are ostracised within the British monarchy. So Harry and Meghan truly have to rethink exactly their plan moving forward. But Harry truly believes everything starts with the word sorry. Now, do you believe him? Neil Sean on the London Underground in the very heart of London.